Hello everyone, and welcome to the Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Care Network. I'm Dean, the host of this channel, and I'll be taking you on a journey through narcissism and understanding the narcissist. Today I'm going to be presenting episode 44, which is entitled Why I Believe My Person Was a Narcissist. This will be part one of a two-part video series here on this, and before we get into this, I'm just going to say quickly here, I had an inquiry from a N.A.R.C.N member here in the past couple of days, again about inquiring about something to do with this particular episode, and this person's question was actually, how is it that you feel about dealing with your narcissist and what's gone on with her during the time that you have been doing the N.A.R.C.N network channel? And I just wanted to say, as far as it goes with my narcissist here, I'm trying to be as scientific with the situation as I can. I present scientific information on the N.A.R.C.N network. I do, of course, go into details of what happened with my narcissist, not only in the general videos I do on here, but within the Who Let the Cat Out series of videos, which is, of course, the history of myself and my narcissist for the time that I had spent with her, or that I had known her. When I go into the details of whatever's going on with my narcissist, I'm trying to be as absolutely transparent with you guys out there as I can. I don't really hide any of my history with her. I've presented completely factual evidence as far as the videos that I present that pertain to her. I present a lot of evidence videos as well too. All those evidence videos I gathered over some time, and they're all factual. I have hundreds of pages of messenger evidence, tons of photograph evidence, just tons of evidence in general. So as far as when I present this on this channel, I try to just be as open and transparent as I can with everybody out there watching. I do sometimes address my narcissist by name, but I only ever use her first name, and if her name ever appears in any video evidence that I have as far as messenger evidence, you will only ever see her first name. I do not reveal her last name because for law reasons I can't really do that. But any of you that know me on the N.A.R.C.N network know that you can also see my own personal Facebook profile and my social media profiles on the internet, and any one of you that are out there could go look up my profile and find out pretty much whatever you want to about me, because everything on my social media pages is pretty much completely public. So you can go look up any information about me and any information about what's going on with me, and you may even be able to figure out who my narcissist actually is if you look at my social media pages. So I just wanted to state that quickly here when somebody was asking me how I feel about dealing with my narcissist and everything. So what I'm basically doing and saying here is that I try to be as completely transparent about what went on with my narcissist as I can, which is a complete opposite to what she's doing, which is just basically running away and hiding from everything that's gone on with me, as far as what's going on with me in the past couple of years with her. So we're going to get right into episode 44 here, and I'm just going to start by going right into this here like this, topically. There are many reasons why I believe my narcissist was a covert level narcissist, and I'm going to present some evidence and ideas to you about this here. It's quite simple. Narcissists all act pretty much the same way. Because of the programming the narcissist has, defective mode in the brain of thinking, which always presents in more or less the same manner, depending on the level of narcissist that they are, but they all pretty much present pretty much the same way. This makes that thing with narcissists that they do and say very predictable. They do not waver very much as far as the way they are from narcissist to narcissist, because the brain is just programmed in a certain way. And they do not waver much away from their zones of familiarity. Being in an unfamiliar place, or an unfamiliar state is very uncomfortable for most narcissists, and this is why they study and mirror their victims and get to know everything about their subjects, because it puts them in a comfort zone where they feel safe and in a complete control of their environment and complete control of their victim. So let's just go on to some points as to why I'm convinced my narcissist was actually a narcissist. Number one, her overall behavior. During my 15 years of being friends with her, she presented a lot of up and down instability in her behavior. This carried over even into our relationship. She was very hot and cold, very on and off with me. You know, one minute she would love me, and the next month I would be like, she'd not be able to be spending time with me. Just all over the place, up and down. From the time that I knew her, especially when I became involved with her, but even before that, when we were just friends, she would complain about all kinds of things. Complain about old boyfriends, complain about her husband, complain about friends, complain about other people, complain about her best friend's husband who actually wanted to get with her at one particular time. She complained to me many times about this particular individual, and even presented proof to me that this person was interested in getting together with her, and this video evidence I actually have in messenger form. She would generally present a lot of chaos within her goings-on in her life. But this is something that narcissists do because they look to create chaos as a means of creating more turmoil to attain attention. To a narcissist, attention equals fuel. Bad attention is even better fuel. And so my narcissist life revolved a lot around chaos. This is not the only example that I have dealt with a narcissist where their lives have kind of revolved around chaos. I have another example of this in my history with another person. So now I myself definitely think for myself I was a very poor source of bad fuel. Although I now understand why my narcissist pushed me away, only to complain about losing her mind when she would do this, and when I would let some other females come into my space, she would of course act very adversely and kind of act like in almost unstable psychiatric kind of way. This behavior was to cause turmoil and to evoke a confrontation and to gain negative fuel from me, which of course is why for myself I'm being a very poor source of negative fuel. But she would try to do this anyway to create some state with me where she would be able to attain some degree of fuel from me. This didn't work very well because for myself I'm very stable in my emotional state and my behavior, and you really can't derive very much fuel from me in that way because I don't fight back and I'm not a confrontational person. So this really just didn't work for her when she tried to do this. This being said, there are many examples of the things my narcissist did and stated possibly to provoke a fuel dump from me. At one point very early on in our relationship, we had a fight about something financially related to me. She had asked me a question about my finances, and I've talked before about this in a previous video. And when she asked me about what I did to make money, she already knew what I did. She knows that I'm a musician and I've worked as a mover and I've done other things in my life. I've been a sports technician and other things of this nature. But at the time she asked me this, I didn't respond to her about one particular thing I was doing in my life, or one particular thing that was happening in my life, in which I attained some finances. And to her, this was interpreted as a lie. So of course, this was me lying to her, and she picked on this, and she picked this particular subject out, and this became a fight thing with us to cause some turmoil within the relationship with us when those things were going on. At another point, she was actually out at a show with me with one of my bands, and this particular woman was paying attention to me at the show. I saw this woman paying attention to me during the show, but I did not really pay any attention to this other woman, and my narcissist singled her out and caused a whole lot of drama related to that, even though I was not actually checking out this woman at all. My narcissist used this as an example to actually cause a fuss with me and cause a whole altercation with me, and that was part of what she used to get more fuel off me. Now I realize that most narcissist actions were a provocation to attain fuel from some form from me, but because I'm really just a source of positive fuel, I'm horrible at getting negative fuel off of, like I just stated. But she would try anyway to provoke things in here, and at the time I didn't understand that this was what she was doing. But because when I became more aware of narcissists and how narcissists act, I realized after doing some investigation on her that this was what she was doing, or the efforts she was making towards me. But of course those efforts were rather unsuccessful. Unsuccessful because she didn't really get that fuel off of me. This is also undoubtedly the reason why she may have also been so on and off with me during the time that she was with me. You know, she would talk about wanting to be monogamous with me, and I say this very loosely because of course there was all kinds of stuff going on between her and I where she was seeing third-party people while she was involved with me. But she would state one moment that she'd want to be with me and she'd want to be monogamous, and then the next moment, 2 weeks later, she'd be telling me that she couldn't be, she wanted to be polyamorous, and she wanted us to be able to see other people, and yada yada yada. And then she would tell me to go find some other girl to be with because she couldn't be with me full time based on whatever was going on within her family conditions, and then turn around and place different rules on things. She was basically just all over the place. This was part of the instability that I dealt with her when I was dealing with her, because this is what narcissists basically do. You're an object to a narcissist anyway, and they deal with you whatever way they see fit, and they put you through ups and downs, and you know, evaluation and devaluation. And this is another indicator that I was dealing with a narcissist. Anyway, just dealing with her and these things, these are just examples of what I've dealt with her, some particular examples here. So I'm going to conclude this for part 1 of episode 44, and I'm just going to say stay tuned for part 2 of episode 44, where we're going to continue with some particular examples that my narcissist made. And I'm going to include at the end of part 2 of episode 44 some links to a website which will give you 15 other particular examples of how narcissists behave with you, and you can actually go check out that website if you guys want to. So I'm going to let you go. This has been part 1 of episode 44. Stay tuned for part 2 coming up next.